to the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series Europe Premier League. We're in the round of 16 this evening, and it's Group B action all night long. It is already truly becoming one of those memorable group nights for many reasons, more than one. However, we have 2 more matches remaining. We already have 1 man through to the round of 8. It is the Russian Happy. Who's going to join him? Let's find out through the graphics right now. As you can see, confirmation that Happy is already through the winner's bracket, and the last 2 at the bottom of the bracket, well, last 3, Baby Knight waiting for the winner of VortiX versus NaNiwa. That's our next game. VortiX from Spain going head-to-head with the DreamHack runner-up from just a couple of weeks ago. Can NaNiwa dig himself out of a bit of a hole? Because the loser of this one goes out of the Premier League. So it's a massive match for both players, and to bring you all the action, it is Dilaris and Apollo.
Thanks very much, Red Eye, as we now move into VortiX versus NaNiwa. Who is going to fall down to Challenger League?
That's right, Claris. And I think we should do some looking at some previous tweets. Maybe some of you have read them before. And what I want to look at today is a couple of tweets that were made on the 23rd of April. And I want to bring the attention to them. And I think that we should have a look at these tweets a little bit closer, Claris.
Well, I believe I'm going to be VortiX here.
And I will be NaNiwa in this situation.
All right, I will refrain from using a Spanish accent because it's probably terrible. So, Mr. VortiX opens up with ESL supposes everyone is a full-time when making WCS schedule. I either forfeit an exam or my WCS group stage, no way to reschedule. Cool stuff.
Karma.
Karma's been working for you throughout 2012, yeah? Smiley face and a heart.
Thought we were over this. GSL round of 8 is better than winning a Zotac Cup.
Wow, I like Karma then. You went from winning stuff to reaching the GSL round of 8 with 4 gates, and I went from winning Zotac Cup to 50k. Wink face.
Yes, you did. Good abusing the Imber in Wings of Liberty. Wink face. Even your fellow Zerg Stefano calls you a patch Zerg. Sad face.
I have nothing else to say, man.
Maybe we should settle this with a good old show match in Heart of the Swarm. I'm willing to put up 1,000. Wink, 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 wink. And here we are today, Claris, with that match in front of us.
Yep. Best of 3. Who's going to fall down to Challenger League? Who is going to advance on for that point to fight for the round of 8? We have the map vetoes now on the way between NaNiwa and VortiX. So let's see exactly how they want to open things up here.
That's right. Quite excited for this. Let's see how this is going to go down. 2 players on screen, as you see. The VortiX was nicknamed the 50k Zerg after that set of tweets.
50k Zerg. NaNiwa already vetoing Whirlwind here to kick things off. I'm pretty sure VortiX does not want to lose this here to NaNiwa. There's quite the grudge here in this series of games.
All right, so NaNiwa's got rid of Whirlwind. Makes a lot of sense, right? Get rid of the big Zerg map. And then VortiX is like, get rid of the Zerg map where Protoss players have 2 ramps and can take a fast third. So standard, really solid veto so far.
Yeah, and from that point on, what are we going to see removed from there? Looks like we have Daybreak being removed there for NaNiwa as well.
Daybreak, difficult to... it's a big map. I'm actually surprised he got rid of it. Usually Protoss players do like to go onto a big map like that, so I can't read into it too much. Neoplanet S, though, is an interesting veto. It's smaller, it's very narrow, lots of choke points, very difficult to get good scouting information as well. I think that... well, these 3 maps, Bel'Shir, Vestige, Newkirk, and Star Station, I think they're pretty good maps for VortiX here, and both players are ready. And there's the shake of the hand, some good sportsmanship here between these 2 players. Not sure which words were exchanged, but a handshake did come out of it.
All right, so I think from my lip-reading abilities that Bel'Shir will be our 2nd map.
Oh, okay.
But that doesn't tell me which is the first.
I thought you were going to say,
no.
I actually read NaNiwa and I heard what he said, and I was like, oh, well, never mind.
With his back to the camera.
So this guy right there, Claris, lost 0-2 to Baby Knight.
Yes.
Wasn't looking good. He's setting up his playlist. He's getting ready to have some... I can't quite tell what that song is. It looked like a Jasmine something. But anyway, he's getting the invites ready, and then he's going up against one of the Duran brothers. It's VortiX.
VortiX here. We actually found, again, he mentioned previously that losing here to NaNiwa is possibly the worst way for him to go out if that is the case. So you know that VortiX is going to be fighting absolute tooth and nail here to defeat NaNiwa.
Yeah, that's right. The first map, Star Station. I like this map for VortiX.
Yep.
If NaNiwa is going to try... This is, remember, if you look at history when it comes to Star Station and NaNiwa playing on it, this is the map. The map that he was able to beat Jaedong on.
Yep.
Remember that map where the Archons are morphing, the Ultralists are coming in, everyone watched that at DreamHack. This is the map he did it on, but it's not a good map for Protoss in general. It's hard to take a third base. A lot of Protoss players like two base pushes on this map. I'm interested to see how NaNiwa's going to approach this. He beat Jaedong, he went the distance with Lenok. It's going to be a good series, Kolaris.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I'm not even going to ask you for predictions.
Yeah, it's, well, for VortiX, it's a big, nice, wide open map here in this, so he can take control of the map if he desires. The countdown has begun here for game number 1. Guys, this is heated. We've outlined that these two people do not like each other too much in terms of going into StarCraft 2, the game itself, as we now load up onto Star Station.
Yeah, this is going to be such a great series between these two guys.
I'm already
excited.
All right, let's jump in, guys. Game number 1, VortiX versus NaNiwa. Words have been exchanged. Now they'll exchange blows on the battlefield as we have, spawning down to the bottom left, as our Red Zerg, representing Karante Esports Club. He is VortiX. You can follow him at Karante_VortiX. Make sure to do so. Support these players, guys, playing in WCS Europe Premier League. And spawning up to the top right hand as our blue Protoss. Apparently he avoided the Empire. He plays for Alliance. He is NaNiwa. For him, NaNiwa SC2. Did it change to Alliance NaNi? Probably NaNi SC2 anyway.
One of these guys is out. Cannot stress the importance of these two, you know, pegged by a lot as favorites to advance in. Talk to me about these players, though, Kolaris.
They've actually never met each other in televised games.
Ooh, until today.
Until today. And after those tweets that have been exchanged, neither player wants to lose a single map, never mind the entire series. They want to take this 2-0. VortiX knows that NaNiwa has such strong PVZ coming off the back of DreamHack, where he was able to gain himself a very, very impressive 17 map wins to 10 map losses. 17-3 in matches. 7-3 in matches. So NaNiwa coming in with a very, very strong statistical standing point there. And
we can just see it. We saw it played out at DreamHack. He was the guy that used all these gateway expand plays, whether it be 4-gate, fast Stargate. He kind of revolutionized a little bit of this matchup. And once again here, we are seeing the gateway expand from NaNiwa. We'll see if he's going to pressure with the Mothership Core, having taken double gases already. He should be looking for the Mothership Core in general here to expand, but pressuring it with the Zealots, the gateways he expands with if he does dare choose. On the other hand, though, VortiX, kind of already knowing that NaNiwa's style is gateway play, opted to take a gas without even scanning his opponent. He hasn't got an Overlord over there yet. He was like, all right, this is NaNiwa, this is how he plays, so I'm going to prepare for that.
And VortiX hasn't spotted his opponent just yet, but he's heading over across the other side of the map to indeed spot him. And from that point on, just getting himself that expansion up and running, not taking any risks, just going for that during all of this going on. And getting a little bit of gas as well. So he can control the map with a little bit of speed if he wants to, and play from that point on.
All right, so let's see. He should be wanting to take out a gas here, as we do see the Vespene Kaiser being emptied now, so he can get speed and then focus just on mineral production. He will want to take a third base very shortly, get the drone production going. An Overlord is very shortly going to poke in. This will confirm that NaNiwa has gone for the gateway expand, and with the position on this Overlord, hopefully we'll be able to see the additional gateways, at least 2 of them. NaNiwa did like to hide the 4th one, though, inside the main base for a total of 4 put 2 in, 1's already in the main base, a 4th one in the main base as well. We'll see if he wants to do that today.
Yeah, you're right. He almost exclusively walled off with a few gateways, and it's a good, in my opinion, it's a really good wall off for a Protoss. You don't want to have necessarily a Forge in a wall and things like that, but Twilight Council is already going down. NaNiwa is opening this up pretty aggressively.
Yeah, he's going for DTs here, changing things up incredibly fast. There come the gateways on the natural, and this is going to be confusing. So the gateways come down, the probe stops the Zerglings from going in, and we don't know what that structure is in the main base. They've spawned cross positions. That Overlord has a job. It actually has a job to get in the main base, but it's either going to stay there and check for the gases, check for the probe count, or it's going to try and make its way around. And I don't think it can. If NaNiwa pays attention, he should have a Stalker where he can be able to stop this. It's actually Blink Play coming in here. Wow, Blink Play. This is incredible. We don't really see Blink Play this early against Zerg.
Especially on just the 3 gateways here. No other investments. He's throwing down a pylon. The Zergling spotted it, though. A very nice little scout here by VortiX. Seeing that, knows his opponent wants to go for something a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, double Spine Crawlers coming down here. So Zergling Speeder is already out. He's got double Spine Crawlers coming down. As he knows NaNiwa's style likes to be aggressive. There's a cancel. I wonder if he cancels the spines behind this.
Do you reckon this is just a fake to force out this much defense?
From NaNiwa at the moment? Yeah, it is. Because he slows down his opponent, forces 2 spines, production of lings and roaches and whatever, and then he's able to force units out early instead of drones. So the economy of Vortex is weaker when the real hit comes in. But we are about to have the Overlord poke in. 3 Stalkers out in the map with the Mothership Core. It's over. I turned the wrong way.
Oh, just barely did not see that Twilight Council. Blink is still half complete and will be on the way in just a little bit. But a lot of Zerglings, Roach going down. Vortex is Senor Cucaracha in terms of how he loves those roaches.
But he's going to lose all Stalkers if he whoops him, but he does have Time Warp. So, I mean, not Time Warp, sorry, Recall.
And then he does get out of there, making sure that Mothership Core does not die. But he did lose a Stalker to that.
2 extra gateways. 4 extra gateways. And so we know what's going on.
Yes, we do. And this hits really quickly because he's actually not waiting for like upgrades on a Forge.
Yeah. So this is, the Vortex has no idea. He's going to go and take a 3rd base now. He's expecting NaNiwa to fall back onto Robo or Stargate. The layer is incredibly far away, so he's not going to have an Overseer to see what's going on. The only way that Vortex is going to be able to tell what's coming is seeing the units physically move out.
Yeah.
By then, it could be... Well, actually, no, he sees all 4 gateways. What I'm on about. That's stupid of me not to see that. I'm sorry. He sees all 4 gateways, including the 2 on the front. That's 6. All he should be doing now is building units.
And he already made a lot of Zerglings early on, as well as that Roach Warren going down. So now he has that insurance policy that he can fall back onto with that Roach production. He's already got 5 on the way. Lair finishes up quite quickly, and this creep spread's going to help as well. Positioning spines to aid in that defense in a good spot is all right.
Nothing but Roach and Lings are absolutely fantastic. Pure Zerglings fantastic against this Blink Stalker play. They don't have upgrades. Currently, NaNiwa sitting on 43 probes, incredibly low. He's got all the production, all his money thrown into production. Here it comes. Roach Speed is on the way. 2 spine crawls were kept alive there. I think NaNiwa would have hoped for them to be cancelled, but they're there. That's going to aid out a lot. Yeah. I don't know if this is going to work. It's difficult, isn't it, to look at. The Vortex sees there's no 3rd as well.
Slight supply block here for Vortex for just a second. He's still getting units out, though. He does not really have much lava to actually spend that whilst those Overlords are finishing up. Vortex now under a little bit of pressure. Will push NaNiwa back. The Zerglings are going to try and wrap around all of this, though. They catch them all. The blink has to come into effect. It has to keep thwarting these roaches from piling on foes. Clear Reconstitution not done just yet, but the blink is now on cooldown, and NaNiwa gets pushed back.
NaNiwa gets completely shut down. 20 Lings on the way. I don't see how he thought this could work. One thing to note, I'm not sure if any Zerg players noticed here, but Vortex actually doesn't get Evolution Chambers very early on against Protoss players who he thinks are being aggressive like this game. He prefers to not get a +1 carapace or +1 attack, just have more units out there, have more production, and just overall swarm everything. And NaNiwa's going to go in for attempt number 2.
He positions himself nicely against Zerglings, so he can blink down onto that low ground. Along with the Time Warp here, slowing down a few of them, continuing to pursue. 84 supply right now to 108. He blinks back out a big chunk of those units. He knows that there's so many roaches here. He has to be very careful in this assault.
8 more speed roaches on the way. A couple of Zerglings too. Infestation Pit is down. Spinecrawler taking slow amounts of damage here.
puzzle box in the air, trying to kill off that spine crawler. The Roaches push on forwards once again. The creep is aiding them as well as that Gliro Constitution that is finished up and good to go here. He tries to close the gap, tries to get to the back of all of these Stalkers whilst killing them off. Units lost tab shows that NaNiwa's lost a hell of a lot more here than VortiX has.
He has, and we'll see if NaNiwa's going to break this through. He's going to continue to pound, and I don't know if it's going to work. I really don't think so, but he's going to continue through. NaNiwa believes it can.
There's so many Roaches. Whoa, but he actually tried to focus the Stalker down, blinking that back as all the Roaches tried to hit it. Meant that there was no damage done in one of those assaults there for VortiX, but still powering on forward. So many Roaches at this point here. And the Stalkers, again, normally when a blink timing hits, they have some upgrades.
Yeah.
+1, +2, but there's nothing here right now for that.
A couple of infestors are coming in with pathogen glands nearing completion, about 40% at the moment. He'll be able to trap these Stalkers down so they can't blink.
Yeah.
When that happens, oh dearie me, it's going to be pretty difficult to play against that. But NaNiwa's got a bit of time to do damage. He's going to tug down the third. VortiX is going to let this go. I think he just really wants to wait for these infestors and say, well, if I just kill off everything you have despite losing my third, I can still be okay.
Yeah.
But that's, you know, relying on getting those fungals, on actually killing off this army.
If he retains the drones right now, he's pumping a lot of his economy and production into infestors, which are very gas heavy. He can then establish that third base a little bit quicker. Once again, pushing on forward here. He wants to push him back. That infestor pops out in exactly the wrong place, takes that down. Good control here by NaNiwa. Once again, the Zealots trying to buffer a little bit of this as well. But those infestors, he has to be careful. He locks down a good chunk of Stalkers. Will bring those down very quickly with these Roaches. And that Blink Stalker count is not getting to critical mass that NaNiwa needs it at.
Yeah, now it's just been cut in half, if not lower. Unfortunately, and the infestors are out, 3 more about to come. So he's going to go up to a total of roughly 6 here, and that's quite a few fungals. NaNiwa taking another gas back at home and starting to, we can see his fallback plan. And with the fallback plan coming in, I don't know how he's going to play this. He doesn't have a Twilight, I mean, he does have a Twilight Castle, he doesn't have a robotics facility is what I went to say. And ideally, he'd want to be going over to Immortals, Colossus at this point.
I have to agree with Toby Love. If you can't ladder, you have to watch all these tournaments, then that's the worst thing about all these tournaments. So much awesome StarCraft to watch, and NaNiwa here is on the verge of not making this work. If he doesn't, VortiX is going to be in an amazing spot. He's even starting melee upgrades.
Yeah, it's finally getting a bit of room for that evolution chamber to come in, but 6 infestors out. They probably have at least a fungal each by now. NaNiwa's going to have to try and bait out some fungals here. Moves forward, he's going to have to blink back. Doesn't work, no fungals, baited. A lot of minerals in the bank, that's a lot of Zerglings. Double evolution chamber, double Zergling upgrades here. If they complete, this game's just outright over.
Yeah, such power behind that, not only in this mid-game, but also transitioning onto the late game. That's a lot of Stalkers, though. Hitting critical mass could be absolutely vital here for NaNiwa. One of the fungals does whiff, another one actually lands on it. Second one lands as well, catching that mothership core. All the Roaches just pushing up against glass, though. They're really not able to do the damage that they exactly want to. Infested Terrans try and help this out, but he's, regardless of being pushed up against Force Field, still winning out on this battle. Some of the Stalkers trying to blink back, a few more also warping in, but the numbers are being dwindling very quickly here for NaNiwa.
Yeah, NaNiwa gets them some Zealots. They will tank a little bit more, but 3 more Infestors, 14 more Lings adding up to this, once again, reinforcing army. Back at home, NaNiwa will start to run out of money soon. He's only on these 2 bases. He's been mining on them for 15 minutes. Double Spine Crawl, a bit of fortification there on that natural, and the further NaNiwa goes on creep, the worse it is, and without an observer, he's not going to pull this down. As you can see in the main base, actually running out, only a couple hundred minerals left.
He's going to be able to get that third base once again here, though, from VortiX. Or at least nibble away. I did get a Queen Eagle. Oh, nice fungal. Hits the center of the Stalker army here. And if he can kill off just a few more Stalkers, he's once again going to be stopping and denying the critical mass of Stalkers.
Yeah, and the Ling upgrades are so close to completion. They will tear these Stalkers apart if that completes. And I don't think, I can't see a way that they won't.
One thing that's not exactly going in VortiX's favor is he's trying to get a macro hatch out now. He doesn't have that much lava across 2 bases to pump out a lot of Lings to actually deal with this. Of course, he's got 20 on the way here, but he needs to go for these engagements very, very cost effectively once again. He moves into a good position along with those fungals for the Roaches to constantly work on the Stalkers. Good separation here by NaNiwa, but again, slowly but surely, VortiX is winning out and making that supply gap further and further harder for NaNiwa to actually close.
NaNiwa is just chased back. He's got absolutely nothing. Here comes the robotics facility as a backup plan. A forge is thrown down. And all that needs to happen from VortiX is mass drones. Take a third, take a fourth, continue upgrading, go to 2-2, maybe throw down a spire, maybe go to hive. Do whatever you want, basically, at this point, because there's nothing NaNiwa can do to challenge any of the decisions that VortiX is about to make. And at this current point in time, NaNiwa is facing going 0-3 in total games today.
And look at the army supplies right now. VortiX I think he's ever the opportunistic player. I think he's going to finish this right now. 84 army supply against 22. The unit counts for NaNiwa: 4 zealots, 3 stalkers, 3 sentries, 1 mothership.
Glorious. It's not enough.
It's not enough. You're right. It's not enough. NaNiwa here trying to hold on, trying to throw down cannons as well as get that Immortal out. And +1, those Zerglings and Roaches gonna have a pretty fun time with this wall.
Yeah, this is gonna be the end of NaNiwa here. He's launched some zealots to attack in the counterways over there, but this is
There you
it.
go.
GG.
GG for game number 1. VortiX takes the lead. And now, that means NaNiwa, the favorite of this group, one of the legendary European players of all time, is 1 loss away from Challenger League.
It's remarkable when you say that. It 1 game away, which very easily could be dropped here against a player like VortiX, an incredible talent, just 19 years old, the 2nd youngest player in the Premier League. VortiX is part-time. Remember that. He's still in school. NaNiwa has been full-time in StarCraft 2 for a long period. He's been playing in Korea for a long period. He's just come off 2nd place at DreamHack just a couple of weeks ago, and is now all of a sudden facing elimination down into Challenger League. That's a big deal.
That really is. VortiX here looking to try advance on. And if he does, he will have to prove his mettle against the Baby Knight himself. But NaNiwa, he has to come back in this game. He has to play out a little bit more stably here in game number 2. Bel'Shir Vestige as the map. NaNiwa has proved himself worthy on this map in the past. Only falling to TLO once or twice here as of late.
I mean, Star Station isn't the best map to start this best of 3, and it's not the best map to have overall, but there was more important maps from NaNiwa to eliminate, so it seemed in the map veto with Whirlwind coming down, and I can't remember the other one he got rid of, but Star Station is always difficult when it comes to a Protoss player playing against Zerg, so that's probably the main reason why NaNiwa chose to play a 2-base all-in. The Blink Stalker alone was very courageous of him, you know, hoping a lot on the Time Warp and the Mothership Core, but VortiX calmly played that out well.
He did. He defended very nicely. So moving into game number 2 now. VortiX 1 win away from advancing on. NaNiwa 1 loss away from ultimate defeat here in the Premier League. So we have VortiX and NaNiwa for Bel'Shir Vestige. And spawning down to the bottom right, currently 1 game up from Caronte Esports Club. He goes by the name of VortiX. Spawning up to the top left as our blue Protoss. 1 defeat away from being knocked down to Challenger League. He needs your cheers, guys. Give it up for Alliance NaNiwa.
He needs to find something deep inside. I remember I was obviously there casting NaNiwa in the final of DreamHack.
Yeah.
And there just seemed to be on that day, on that weekend, something different about him. The motivation and determination that he had throughout the entire weekend, every single game, was fierce. It was unrivaled. But today he just isn't that person when it comes to him playing, when it comes to his attitude and the way that he's approaching everything. It doesn't seem to be the same person, and it's reflecting so much in his results.
Yeah, I mean, with DreamHack, he had the wind in his sails. He had the backing of a home crowd. He was in his home country. But now, as the Lone Wolf does indeed invade down south, and here into Germany, it's not looking too promising here for him. The south is battling back, and VortiX from Spain is doing pretty well against NaNiwa.
I mean, we talked a lot about NaNiwa, but you know, another player that succeeded so well in WCS was VortiX himself, with the massive 2nd place finish in at the Europe Finals last year, then went on to get top 8 in the World Finals as well. That was an incredible run. And remember the question that everyone was asking today. VortiX, yeah, you had an easier run than most people coming through the round of 32. What are you going to do in a group where NaNiwa's in, and Baby Knight, and Happy? And right now, yes, VortiX lost the first series, but he's showing what he can do.
He really is. This is his challenge. This is the test that he has to put himself up against. And he's doing so. He's doing all right so far here against NaNiwa. Game number 2 might be an entirely different beast, though. NaNiwa opening up Nexus into Forge, really getting that wall off nicely here. Scouting along, gonna spot that natural, but as of yet, yet to see what plans they have in store.
More specifically, with the Forge and the Nexus here, NaNiwa did grab a very fast double pylon before the Forge, which allowed him to really boost his probe production early.
It's true.
And he will have to defend, and will just about defend, as these 4 Zerglings are chasing all the way across the map. I think that if NaNiwa had blocked that hatchery, instead of letting it go down, what was to stop the hatchery? I mean, what was to stop the probe from blocking the hatchery, as these 4 Zerglings are across the other side of the map?
Oh, I'm going to start nibbling away at this pylon here. That photon cannon will morph in, but he forces the cancellation, throws down a gateway behind it. So a good defense there by NaNiwa. Didn't get any Zerglings for his troubles, though, as they didn't decide to linger around there and get tickled away at by that photon cannon. So saves everything for now.
NaNiwa has a probe down in the bottom left. Is he going to pylon cannon rush this? Oh my god, he is.
And there are Zerglings moving down there,
That's
though.
the thing. Yeah, I was going to say, the next thing I was going to say was 4 Zerglings were made. So, unfortunately for NaNiwa, he's going to have to cancel that. A sly attempt to get an advantage here.
VortiX looking pretty calm and collected in that camera, down to the bottom of the screen. Looking all right as... just chrono boosting away here, getting more probes out where he can. NaNiwa won't be surprised if he went into that economical game, as it's so important here for him to find stability here in the second game. He has 1 shot left, and he has to make it count.
So what are we going to see with that 1 shot? He's got 1 map. Is he just going to play a Stargate normal play here? Does he try something risky, like throwing down a robotics facility, hoping that VortiX doesn't use Mutalisk, which he actually doesn't like to use in this matchup? So there's a couple of gambles and ways that NaNiwa can take the approach. So far, if you look at the gases from VortiX, hasn't taken any until this point, 6 minutes. A standard time, I mean, you can get them a little bit earlier, but he's really focusing on the older style, such as, how Stefano used to really max out incredibly fast with gases at this point.
Happier just to go for that income here to kick things off. Stargate goes down for NaNiwa behind all of this, though, so I'm hoping we do see Phoenix play. It's the more stable of the options. The other two, in terms of the Oracle as well as the Void Ray, you need to do a bit more damage with them in the end to make them worth their while. Phoenix are much easier to do so, but VortiX spots that Stargate.
He spots it, so his focus now should be getting speed straight away in case there's some kind of Stargate 4-gate play, which is Stargate with a bit of 4-gate pressure combined together. And then going over to taking a layer, extra gases, and a couple of evolution chambers. Depending on the order, he's throwing down 2 extra gases, so he's definitely looking to shoot up to layer fast as well. And probably just easily, guess that he's going over to Hydralisk to deal with this. But the real important question is, what is NaNiwa's follow-up from this?
Well, it's interesting they actually bring that up for VortiX at least, because VortiX has a great comfort zone in going Ling Hydra in the mid-game, with that layer now going down and then transitioning on to whatever gas-based tech he wants to. He's getting the Roach War on his insurance for this point onwards. Void Ray follows this up for NaNiwa. It's a cool choice. I do like Void Rays,
I wonder if he's going to use that Void Ray for aggression here. He's already got 3 sentries. We're going to have to follow how his gas. He's got 4 gases. If he wants to continue to tech, then he will obviously need to get a robotics facility down, surely.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't get that down and he starts to spend his gas and sentries, he's already got a couple of extra gateways coming on. It's a hallucinated Phoenix here. Not a real one, which is 5 Spore Crawlers coming down.
Spots all of that anti-air on the way, and those 2 gateways finishing up in just a second for NaNiwa behind this, along with that +1.
Another sentry.
That is, yeah. And he starts pro production again, actually. So he was at 51. Gonna go up a little bit further.
You could just fall back and expand here, so it's only 2 gateways thrown down. If he has stopped production on Stargate, so he's just going to be an expansion play. 4 sentries, that's fine. Spire down. Okay. Spire's interesting. Oh! No, wait, he's going to see the Voider anyway, right? I was just thinking, how much of this is VortiX seen?
He must have seen it with that Ling that actually died at the 3rd.
Double Stargate coming down from NaNiwa. This is perfect.
Wow. Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
It's a bit of mind games coming in, for sure, from NaNiwa.
Yeah.
He's shown a hallucinated Phoenix, and then built a single Void Ray, but then continued to build 2 Stargates anyway. So it's like, I will go Stargate, but I won't go Stargate, but I will go Stargate, if that makes sense. He's 3 Stargates now with +1 attack. He's expecting it. He's forcing out a Mutalisk switch by saying, I'm going Void Rays.
Yeah. I'm going
And then if he goes over to Phoenix production again soon...
It's interesting. It reminds me of the play that we saw from Protoss in the GSL in terms of Void Rays into Phoenix and then trying to snipe out bases with a recall. Who was it? Was it SOS?
I think so. I'm not sure exactly.
All right. Well, yeah, there was a very, very interesting play coming out from there. And he's getting the Twilight Council as well. If he goes Zealot Charge on the low ground with this, that is almost exactly what we saw in the GSL.
Well, you know, NaNiwa is a massive fan of SOS, so if you're correct on that, then this is exactly what's coming on. Void Ray's coming down as well. The Mueller switch, though, I mean, if he doesn't build Phoenixes, then this is going to be difficult to deal with, as he won't have the mobility of them to catch these Mutalisks, so maybe he isn't expecting it, and maybe he isn't playing into that, and as you say, playing to a style as he has seen from the GSL.
Yeah, I have to go with that now. I really do. It was SOS who was doing it against Zerg, and it worked to great effect. There was a few discussions about it as well, and, well, Vortex is going to try and expand twice off the back of this, but he's not going to retain that 5th base for long. Down to this bottom right-hand corner here, he's taking the gases already, and Zealot Charge is on the way as well. He follows it up, along with Archons if he wants to, with Templar Archives, and it's such a potent combination. It's hard to deal with every single aspect of the composition NaNiwa is creating.
I think that you're nailing it here with your analysis on this, Polaris, as this 5th base isn't going to last long. Remember, there's recall, so he's got no threat whatsoever of dying at this point. And now the Mutalisks have been spotted. I wonder what NaNiwa is going to do with this. He's seen the Mutalisks now, and there's 3 Phoenixes coming down, 5 gateways. What he's probably going to do now is aim to build up to, 9, 12 Phoenix, and then just go.
Yeah. It's true.
Get the range upgrade, of course, for the Phoenixes and just go. He's going to have a lot of units, but the problem is for NaNiwa, the longer he waits to move out, it's 5 bases down. He didn't kill that 5th base. That's a lot of gas income for Vortex, a lot of supply for Vortex 2.
I also want to point out that if NaNiwa follows this to a T, he could get a Dark Shrine and use Dark Templars in his mainstay composition, because that is what we saw SOS do, along with those Zealots on the low ground. So we'll see if NaNiwa wants to go down that route. He already has the Twilight Council there in place.
A lot of Corrupt has been added to the composition here. And that's going to strengthen his A. He's going to be able to cut off the Phoenixes from coming in and allow his Mutalisks to get in there. Ling run by to the 3rd, Mutalisks to the main.
That's a lot of Mutalisks. You have to be very, very careful, especially with those Corruptors now zoning him out. He does not have any Impulse Crystals on those Phoenix, so has to control this absolutely perfectly. Photon Overcharge will be quite useful to push this back as well here, but the Corruption goes down on some of these Phoenix. He's losing quite a lot of them here. Those Corruptors doing a good job, but the Void Rays will actually push in now. How many workers has he killed? He actually killed off 18 workers during this assault.
Wow, that's a lot, and that's exactly what the Corruptors are meant to do. Here comes Corruption onto the Phoenixes, onto the Void Rays. A lot of damage being dealt. Remember, on 5 bases and 10 gases behind it, you can afford to lose units like this and replenish. And
there you
NaNiwa
go,
just
GG's.
And NaNiwa is out. And we see Vortex, the man of the hour here.
Yeah, he plays the upset. NaNiwa, the favorite in this group, goes down to Challenger League, and Vortex fights to stay alive. He is going to go up against Baby Knight in the next round.
Wow, what a great win there for Vortex as he moves on. NaNiwa, and not too happy there about the handshake, as, well, I guess the original one doesn't count, and this is the more important one there. But Vortex is the man who picks up the 2-0 there, and NaNiwa goes down to Challenger League. Vortex moves on for a chance to play, to keep alive in the Premier League.
It's going to be hard, though. Baby Knight is waiting in the wings. He watched that series, you can guarantee that, and he is ready and waiting to now greet Vortex with a very, very scary PVZ that was able to defeat Stefano.
Yeah, well, we are going to be having a winner's interview in just a couple of moments' time as NaNiwa just leaves the stage, and Vortex is the man. I'm interested to see what he's got to say for himself. Does he think that he can go the distance? Does he think he can beat Baby Knight? And I'm sure he's very happy with this win for sure.
Yes, that's for sure. All right, let's go over to our interview with Red Eye and Vortex.
Thank you very much, guys. With the victor, Vortex, who stays alive. Unfortunately, NaNiwa is out of the Premier League. Such a massive shock in this game, but well done, Vortex. Fantastic couple of games from you. Talk us through game 1 first, and then we'll come on to the crazy second game. And first game, how did things pan out for you?
Well, I didn't really know what I wanted to do on that map, so it was kind of weird at the beginning. I didn't know what to open, so I just thought I'd open some safe, fast speed lane, so I could control the map pretty well. And then I think I was just pretty lucky to make a Roach Warren fast enough, because I thought he would go for gate aggression. So,
okay, so that was a guess at that point from you?
Yeah. So it was really good to have the Roach Warren ready for when he transitioned to Mass Stalkers, and yeah, that's it. I think my strategy was just like a counter to his.
Okay, and I'm not going to demean this in any way, but do you think it was a little bit lucky on your part in that first game?
I wouldn't say lucky, but yeah, this kind of things happen. I think I made it much better than him on the fights. Like, I was using my units very well, so not that much lucky. I mean, I guess there's a point of luck, but not so much.
Sure. And then the second game, I mean, just what a crazy game. I mean, how did it end up like that?
I don't know. I just knew I wanted to make Muras from the beginning. So when I saw he open a target, it was like so good, because you can just make like a few corruptors and then just the Muralist will crush everything. And yeah, when he made like such a fast third, I thought, okay, I can just make 5 base and kind of outmass him, and that's what happened.
Okay, but there was one point in there where he was trying to sort of give you some dummies. He was trying to sort of, yeah, I'm going to go gates. No, I'm not going to go gates. Was that throwing you off, or were you playing no part in that?
I don't really know. Like, what?
Just a little bit earlier on, it looked like he was going to go for a gateway, and then he didn't, and then he looked like he did. I don't know whether you saw any of that. So it was more that Apollo picked it up, and then we could see everything. Obviously, you can't. But I just wondered whether that had factored in any particular composition of all the units that you built, because he had a crazy range of units.
Yeah, like at the beginning, he was going to open gate. You say? I don't really know.
Were you surprised by how quickly he GG'd at the end as well?
In this last game? No, I think it was over. I had 5 bases. He has only 2 mining ones. I don't think it was.
Okay.
He has lost all his void rays, so I don't really know what he had to do there.
Okay. Through to the next game. It is a massive game for you. It's a deciding match. How are you feeling about that particular matchup, and what can we look forward to from you?
CVP for me is the best right now, so I think my chances are good. But yeah, of course, Baby Knight is a great player, but NaNiwa is too, and I managed to win him, so yeah, you never know.
All right. Well, very good luck in the next game. It is the deciding game. VortiX is your winner of this particular match. He goes through to our deciding match against Denmark's Baby Knight. It's back to the commentary team of Kalaris and Apollo.
Thanks very much, guys, as we now move on to our final series, Apollo.
Yes.
I can't believe it's actually come down to this.
VortiX versus Baby Knight. We looked at how Baby Knight started off the day, how VortiX has made a little comeback now, and now they're going to play to see who goes on to join Happy. Whew.
It's been quite the day already.
Yes.
Baby Knight and VortiX. One of these players will claim a round of 8 spot and also guaranteed Premier League status in Season 2. But for now, we are going to send it back over to Paul before we get into this first match.
Thank you very much. Back with the Hubner, everyone, for Social Media Roundup. And I understand that because we don't pay you anything to trawl Reddit anymore, because we fired you, and then we rehired you for no money, you're now trawling through the Team Liquid live thread. So what's been going on in there?
Everyone's been kind of upset by how NaNiwa reacted to VortiX wanting to shake his hand at the end of the game.
A little bit of BM.
Very BM, actually. There's actually been a couple of people who said he just lost a fan. So
I'm sure he won't care about losing one fan, though, will he?
that's pretty tough. Well, it's been a couple of people, so I don't know.
Anything else in the live thread? I know the guys... by the way, just for those of you on Team Liquid and in that live thread, thank you so much for supporting WCS. We do read the comments, we do take the feedback on board, and we're really thrilled that you keep that live thread going all night long. We do often check into it as well, so there's been a lot in there. How many pages? Just click up a little bit. I just want to see how many pages we've had. 68 this evening. 68 is pretty decent. I've seen higher, but it's good job. Good job, Team Liquid.
Indeed.
Okay.
I actually wanted to ask a question to the community. We haven't had nearly enough people actually tweeting at us at hashtag WCS. So I just wanted to hear who you think is actually going to advance tonight out of these two players, VortiX or Baby Knight, because that's a very, very uncertain matchup now.
Yep. Okay, so we've got Baby Knight versus VortiX is going to come up next in our deciding game. So make sure you tweet at us who you think is going to win the game, and use the hashtag WCS. I just want to say a big thank you to Phil for looking after us this evening. Well, that's a bit BM, isn't it? Okay. Anyway, we're going to take a very quick break, and when we come back, it's the deciding match. Don't go anywhere.